Hello there, and welcome to the first video in getting the most out of ReportRighter. And through this series, I'm just going to be going over some tips and tricks on how to make your document templates that much better and that much easier to use with ReportRighter. So if you already kind of know quite a bit about using functions in Excel, go ahead and skip on. I'm just going to take this first video to kind of show you how I like to think about things in Excel and how I approach solving a problem if I don't know the function that I need to use or how to use the function that I need to use. So go ahead and skip on. There's some great information coming down the line in the next videos if you already know, have this base knowledge. But this first video, we're going to tackle how to figure out how the function works, how to use a built-in function. So first, the first place you should look, in my opinion, is the internet. Especially if you don't know which function you want to use. If you go, I want to count the number of values that are below a certain number. Look that up. Someone probably already has the answer online. They'll kind of walk you through it. That will help you find out which function to use. But let's say we know that if we want to count the number of cells that are less than 1 in this range, so we'll create a range here. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, -3, -2, -20. Let's just say that that's our data. And we want to count all of the data that's less than 0. So I changed it a little bit. I said less than 1 before. Less than 0 makes a little more sense. So what we're going to do is we know we need the count if, because what count if does is it's going to count every cell in the range that you select that meets this criteria. Count if is the reason I picked this one is this is one that I have a lot of trouble with remembering how it works. So let's take a look at it. So up here you've got your function bar, and this is, you can type in here actually. It's great, equals count if, and once you have that function that you want highlighted, just go ahead and hit tab. It autofills it for you. But over here you've got 3 little buttons. You've got a cancel, which is the same as hitting escape. You've got enter, which is the same as hitting enter, and then you've got this insert function. And this is super helpful if you don't really know how to use the function. So I'll click that, and it pulls up this function arguments display box. And this is really, really awesome because it's got both of my variables. So for any function, it will pull up all of the variables. And then what it's going to do is it gives you the description here. So this here is the function description, and this here is each variable's description as I highlight them. So for range, this is the range of cells that I want to count non-blank cells. So then I can click that. So I click this button here, and then it allows me to select it, and I'm good there. And then criteria is the condition in the form of a number, expression, or text that defines which cells will be counted. So before I said I want negative ones, anything less than 0. So I have to make sure that I put it in the form of text, less than 0. And now it shows me the result right there and there. But let's say I'm having some trouble. It's not working. Why I put in less than 0, why am I just put in less than 0 before and it worked. So I can click this help on this function, and this will pull up the count if documentation. So this is going to really tell you how to use it. So let's look at a similar one. So let's say, okay, there's nothing that's less than, but there's this greater than 55. So it's probably going to hold very similar syntax. And if I notice, there are these quotation marks. So I bet you I need to use quotation marks. And actually, when I left, it fixed it for me. So now if I do less than 2, and I hit enter, it actually fixes it for me, which is pretty neat. I wonder if it does that this way. So we'll close off our parentheses. Yeah, so it doesn't recognize the formula because that less than 2 is throwing an error. It's like, well, you've got a function and then you've got a function inside of it. So the reason that we have to put these in is so that it knows it's a criteria and not a separate function. Now it works. So that's pretty much it for this video. I didn't mean to get too much into the count if, but just this is really a function that I struggle with for some reason. I forget those apostrophes a lot. Not apostrophes, quotation marks a lot. And clicking that function arguments button really, really helps. So in the next video, I'm going to start talking about how to set up your document templates and certain styling techniques to make them look really beautiful before we get into the actual functions too much and how to really optimize your ReportRighter process. So thank you so much. Have a great day, and please do something awesome.